Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at a, well, I would say it's spicy, but it's more of a fiery variant of Gholdengo EX. And today we're going to take a look at Gholdengo EX with the new Firebreather supporter, and we're also going to be taking a look at the new Ceruledge with the something slash, can't remember the name of the attack fully. So as per usual, in the description below there's going to be usual links to the deck list, which is also available to copy in the description below. There's the games that we'll play, and of course the outro and what I think of the deck. So, we're bringing back our old friend Gholdengo. Gholdengo was one of the first decks I featured on the channel, more specifically my Dengo Pulp variant, which is proving how long ago that was. But, obviously, you know, he's a pretty good card, you know, like, he's got a lot of benefits. Obviously, I don't think the this Firebreather variant is as good as the Rocks variant that's running around. I don't think I've covered the Rocks variant. I know I've done it for the Ceruledge, but I think I might want to do it with a Dengo, because Dengo could be pretty interesting to do that. I've also still not done Gengar or Mega Diancie, but, well, Diancie I'm not playing Engardi because I refuse to, and Gengar I've not fully worked out a list for that yet. But obviously we have the Make It Rain attack for 50 times, discarding any number of basic energy that we discard, and it does 50 damage for each one. Then of course we do have coin bonus to draw us a card, and if he's inactive we draw another card. Pretty nice inbuilt consistency. Obviously, we are playing the new Ceruledge with the Infernal Slash. I knew it was Slash something, I couldn't remember what it was. And for 1 Fire Energy, which does seem pretty cheap, but you have to read the subtext, for 220 damage, discard 4 basic Fire Energy cards from your hand. If you can't discard 4 cards in this way, this attack does nothing. Now that may seem pretty bad, but honestly, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, because we're already playing Superior Energy Retrievals, we're playing Firebreathers, this guy only needs 1 energy to do that attack. Now, I will say, I'm only playing the new Charcadet because I think, you know, having the option to just basically have 2 Gimmighouls, essentially, because obviously the Gimmighouls we're playing are the minor errand running. Having the option to use Gather Strength to obviously get basic energy cards as well is a nice option to have, but I still think the Will-O-Wisp one, that does 20 damage for a singular fire, is just better. Purely because of the Budew, because obviously Budew doesn't really play Bravery Charms now unless it's Frost has Monkey Dory. And I think just having the option to take out a Budew with a single energy attachment is just nice to have. Obviously, another option in this list that you could add in is the Ceruledge EX, but I chose not to add that in. You probably could get away with it though. I don't really see the point of playing it. Like, I see the reasoning. Obviously, it's another Dengo counter, and you don't have to have 4 energy, and you can't. Well, I say Dengo. It does do well in the Dengo mirror, but another Cornerstone answer is what I meant. Couldn't get my words out today. But I don't like the idea of playing a 3-2-1 of evolutions, like 2-3-1 is what I meant. Well, 2-3 essentially. So 2 Charcadets, 2 Ceruledge, and then 1 Ceruledge EX. I'd want to play 3 Charcadets if I was going to do that. But obviously, we don't want our board space to be full of Charcadets. We want Gimmighouls to evolve into Gholdengo. Then, of course, we do have Genesect for grabbing out. Well, Gholdengo's a little bit easier, but ultimately, I think this list does have a few issues, which, you know, all these lists that I make for these videos are subject to change, and I think there are changes to be made. So let's go to the deck list, and let's discuss a bit further. And welcome to the deck list. So, as I said, this is more of a fiery version of Gholdengo, and I do think there are some things that we could change about this list. So as I said, playing a 1 of Ceruledge EX, it's a cheap way to get an attack going, and obviously, you know, we don't have to have 4 fire energy in hand to obviously do that. And ultimately, I think that is a pretty acceptable one to have. Another thing would be to have a 4th basic metal energy, just to have a bit more option. Obviously, we do play the Legacy Energy, which technically covers that, but obviously the Legacy Energy could go on the Ceruledge with the single prize option. And obviously, if we played the Ceruledge EX, we could put it on there as well. But ultimately, I don't think a lot really needs to change about this list. Like, genuinely, it's that simple to just get this list going. So obviously, we're playing 4 Gimmighouls. Obviously, the Core for Family one with the 50 HP is another option you could play, but I'm playing 4 with the minor errand runnings. 4 Gholdengo EX, 2 Charcadets, which again, these should be Will-O-Wisp, but I'm playing the new one just because we haven't played the new one yet. 2 Ceruledge, 1 Genesect, and 1 Fez. Then we're playing 4 Boss, 4 Arven, 2 Turo, 2 Firebreather, 1 Ciphermaniac, 4 Buddy-Buddy Poffin, 4 Superior, 3 Nest Ball, 2 Night Stretcher, 1 Earthen Vessel, 1 Countercatcher, 1 Ultra Ball, 1 Energy Retrieval, 3 Air Balloons as our main tools, 9 basic Fire Energy, 3 basic Metal Energy, and 1 Legacy Energy as our A spec. Ultimately, like I said, I don't think a lot needs to change. You could cut a Nest Ball to put in the Ceruledge EX, but again, I think personally I'd want to have 3 Charcadets if I was doing that. Obviously, what if I don't do that? The Charcadet I think you should be playing is this one here, the one from Surging Sparks. This one just has a more versatile attack. So obviously, yes, Gather Strength is good and all, same with Banner Air running, but at least having an option if you do start a Charcadet to deal with a Bidoof, so you're not item locked out of your various items and stuff like that, could be very critical, and I think this is something that you should consider, especially if you want to play the EX, because obviously the Ceruledge is very good, but the Ceruledge EX, I think, could be worth a space. But like I said, I'd cut a Nest Ball for a 3rd Charcadet if you're going to do that, but obviously, again, swap the Charcadets for these ones. And ultimately, I think not a lot else would really need to change. Like, you could cut the Arven count down to 3, go to 2 Air Balloon, put in an EX, and then put in a second Energy Retrieval or a Night Stretcher. There's quite a lot of room to grow this list, I think, but it ultimately depends on what you want to do at the end of the day. And like I said, a 4th Metal Energy probably wouldn't go too hard in this list. Anyway, let's get to the games and see how we do. And welcome to the first game. Looking forward to seeing how this fire-breathing Dengo variant goes. Like I said, I've been meaning to cover a few different decks on the channel, like Mega Diancie. I've been trying to make that work on its own. I don't want to play it with Guardy, because everyone's playing it with Guardy. There was a variant I was testing with, like, Wondrous Patch. I think I was playing Xatu. But I couldn't really, like, figure out a way to get that going. Do I want to go first? Yes, because then I can set up my Dengos, I guess. But yeah, this just, you know, like, it's one of those, like, things where, like, I want to make my own take on it, so to speak. And I don't want to, like, just copy off of someone else, you know, I want to add my own twist to it, and that's what I like to do. And well, they know we're playing Firebreather variant now. That's a really good start, though. We got a Poffin in hand, we get a Dengo, we can get a Metal onto it as well. That feels pretty good. Torchic! Okay, this is a Fire Weak matchup. This is going to be a problem, but we can deal with that. So Body Poffin and grab you and you. We have prized no Charcadets, which is good. We've not prized any Ceruledge. We haven't prized any Dengos. Thanks for the terror effect there, game. We love that. We don't. We hate it. Really wish they'd fix it. Other than that, this looks pretty okay. Like, we've prized 1 Fire Energy as well. I can live with that. I'll attach the one on the bench. Air Balloon the one in the active. And pass. Nice, easy start. Obviously, if they're playing like a Blaziken deck, we do want to focus down the chickens. Because, well, they're Fire Weak. Well, we're Fire Weak, so we kind of need to consider that. Of course, the one time when I played the Gholdengo, I run into a Fire Weak matchup. Torchic with Zorua? Huh? You're going to collect to draw 1? Ciphermaniac. I mean, that makes sense, you know, like, actually doing that. You can Ciphermaniac, get the first card off the Torchic, and then you can obviously draw for turn into that other one. That's actually pretty clever. That's a pretty good line. Why the chicken, though? Like, this doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I guess if you're playing, like, Damanitan, would be probably a consideration for that. But, yeah, that's boss. That's pretty good. That is really good. So we'll do a double evolve. We'll then coin bonus. That's fine by me. See, the issue is I don't know if they have a second energy in hand, so they could easily take a 2-prize knockout with my Dengo here. I could retreat into this one and then obviously, you know, draw 2, but it's not a major deal if I do that. So we'll free retreat into the Dengo. I'll Air Balloon this one. And yeah, we'll just make a rain for 100. Take out the Torchic. Obviously, if they've just got Rare Candy Blaziken off of that, then, well, we're going to lose the Dengo here, and there's not much I can do about it. But, well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, folks. And, yep, of course they did. Of course they did. I might as well just say, go screw yourself, Joe, honestly. But no, that feels pretty rough that they've just got that. Like I said, I couldn't Iona them, because that's another thing you could play, but at the same time, Dengo doesn't really want to Iona themselves. You know, like, there's there's certain things that you could add into this list, but I don't think it's worth adding them in. But ultimately, I think, you know, just trying to, like, tech too much could bite you in the backside later. But seriously though, the first game I played with Dengo, I've run into a weakness card. Like, this just seems to be a common thing with PTCG Live right now, is I'm running into weakness matchups. And while on the plus side, it can't attack next turn, but on the negative side, we only have one Dengo, and we have no way to knock this Blaziken out. So, yeah, that feels fun. Not, but, well, that's what happens when you give them everything, I guess. So, Nest Ball for the Fez. I can thin out the last Air Balloon if it's in there. I didn't fully check, to be honest. It is. Good. That way we get more targets. I'll then Fez for 3, because if we get Firebreather, which we don't, unfortunately, that would have been pretty nice. Can we get there? No, we can't. Do I grab Buddy Poffin and just take the L and just hit this for a bit? Because they could just retreat, and then they might have, like, Petrun EX. Well, in fact, no, Latias or something to just free retreat. I think I have to take the L and just grab a Buddy Poffin here, because the issue is if I let them keep doing what they're doing, I don't win. It's as simple as that. I just don't win. So I'm going to Superior away, Air Balloon and Boss, because I've got plenty of Boss, that's not a problem. Yeah, this just feels kind of rough, I'll be honest. Coin bonus for 2. There's Legacy, that's really good to draw. We do like that. The Legacy's really nice to draw here. I'll make it rain for 100, I think. So that means less pressure on our resources. Obviously, if they have a way to reset this Blaziken, we just basically lose. If they have rare candy for another Blaziken, again, we just basically lose. I find it very strange that they're actually playing this. You know, like, I don't see any evidence of Darmanitan, which would be a better, you know, like, take on this. Are you serious, Hero's Cape? And you have the Dawn, you better not have rare candy in hand, because I will be pissed if you do. Like, genuinely. Hero's Cape Zoroark with the Blaziken. What is this? Why is this in Arceus? Combuskin, Blaziken, Reshiram. Okay. Combuskin, so they're threatening the Blaziken, essentially. That's what they're doing here. There's a monkey door. They even have the monkey? Are you for real, man? Bro, this is crazy. I need to take out the chicken. Like, I'm not bothered about... I mean, I could do it with Ceruledge if I draw into it, but... You know, this just feels so rough. Like, bro. Oh, please do not tell me you have Vitality Band or something. I was going to say, I can deal with the Zoroark. That can be done later. But no, that is ridiculous. Genuinely, rare candy into Blaziken, immediately you take 2 prizes. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's just crazy. Why are you playing this with no Darmanitan? I don't get it. Like, you're literally just solving... In fact, no, it actually makes sense even without the Darmanitan, if you think about it. Because you're dealing with Venusaur, you're dealing with other things like that, you know, like, you have those options. Obviously, I know there's no cards in the deck that can be grabbed off of this, but I'm just doing it to thin. So, yeah, I'll coin bonus for another, just so we have the option. Nest Ball, not particularly great. I've got 5 energy in there. I can Nest Ball, grab the Genesect maybe, but then again, they're going to hit me for fire. Then again, it doesn't matter. They hit me for fire weakness anyway. I can thin the Genesect out the deck. I can keep the one in the discard pile. Thinning is winning, folks. Always remember that. Always remember that. A boss would go pretty hard here. Well, that's just answered my question, hasn't it? So, we have 5 energy available, so we'll Superior away you and you. Grab you 2 out of there. It does feel bad to have to burn a Superior here, but we need to take knockouts. So we'll boss the chicken, and then we'll make it rain, discarding 5. and taking 2 prize cards. I mean, at the end of the day, if he's got boss plus chicken plus attachment, like, we're losing 2 prizes anyway, because he'll just go for either Fez or the Genesect, or one of the Dengos on the bench. And of course, he's going to promote the chicken, because of course he has the chicken in hand. We know he does. There it is. Like, I understand why he's playing it, but at the same time, like, I don't think it synergizes very well without Darmanitan. I don't know if that's just me thinking of that. Like, let me know in the comments. Do you agree with my statement here? Like, do you see my reasoning? Like, oh, you should be playing, you know, you should be playing Darmanitan with this. Like, I don't think Monkey's needed in this list if you're playing Heroescape. Like, when I say Monkey not needed, it would be, but, you know, I don't think it's something you really need, per se. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm seeing the reasoning for my opponent, because obviously it deals with grass-wheat matchups, it deals with Dengo, but at the same time, I think it would just go a lot harder with Darmanitan, because then you can recharge a Darmanitan, manually attach, you know, if you've got 2 chickens in play. I don't know, maybe something we could look at in the future, I guess. Maybe I can cook up a variant of that. But from what I'm seeing, that my opponent's got a pretty decent shell here. I just think they've missed the mark without the, you know, without the thingamabobs. There's Turo picking up the... He's going to put another Torchic down, isn't he? Counter Catcher, of course he's got it. We can Night Stretcher for that, so that's fine. Does mean he wins with a boss, though, which he has played no boss, so we probably lose this. But he hasn't got another Torchic down, so we can take this out. We'll be in good situation here. So let's Night Stretcher back that Fez, so we have more draw. So now we can Counter Catcher, but we obviously don't want to do that, because we don't want to read this chicken. So, I'm going to Fez for 3 first. Okay. Coin bonus. There's Firebreather. Do we get there with Firebreather? I actually don't know. I mean, I'm going to play it anyway, just so we can thin more. That's 3, so that's 5. Yeah, we've got the knockout. 100% we've got a knockout. But first, I'm going to help set up my board a bit more, because I need something else. I need to put an energy on my Gholdengo. That's what I need to do. So then we'll Vessel away the Counter Catcher, because this is going to be useless for now. Grab this metal out. I can attach it to one of my Dengos. Energy Retrieval, that's why I put it in the list, just so we have extra options. And then we will make it rain for 350. Take out this stupid chicken. Yeah, not so tough now, Mr. Blaziken, are ya? Don't get me wrong, I love Blaziken, but why the hell are you playing it without Darmanitan? You know, like, I can see my opponent's reasoning and stuff like that. Like, I understand what they're doing, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessarily the best move to play it without Darmanitan. Plus, how do they win from here? Like, they haven't got another chicken established. They need to, well, they need Binding Mochi, they need a way to accelerate 2 Dark Energy to the one without the Heroescape on it, and they need Gust for the Fez. There's an Iono, but that's fine. As long as we draw into boss, we can win by Gusting the Monkey and drawing off of Thingamabob. There's the Torchic, we can even win on Gusting that. But to be fair, if we can take out the Reshiram, it's not a big deal. He'll probably park the Zoroark with 380 HP in front of me, but then I'll just dig for boss, and hopefully we get it. Because I can do coin bonus, retreat into the Dengo with the Metal Energy on it. Yeah, that's completely acceptable, mate. That's pretty fair. But obviously we do have a lot of resources in the discard pile. We've got 10 energy in the discard pile. There's the boss, but that doesn't guarantee us it yet. We need a Superior. And, well, that is game. So we'll go Superior. Discard you two. I'm not going to BM and waste my opponent's time. And you can bet your guts I'm bossing that bloody chicken. That is revenge for using a weird list. That is game. We beat the chickens. And, well, now the Fire Energy's glitched on my screen, but I'm sure we could all live with that for a few seconds, and there it goes. That was kind of scary, because obviously they did have the Blazikens, but you know, we was able to pull it out thanks to Legacy Energy putting in some work and obviously forcing them to gust and have more resources. But no, that's a really interesting Zoroark list. I do want to try it with Darmanitan though. Maybe a 2-2 line of Darmanitan or a 1-1 line. Could be something we look at in future. I'll make a note of that. So, let's go to the game 2, and hopefully we don't run into another fire deck. And welcome back to game 2. My opponent definitely deserved that loss there for playing that bloody chicken. Like I said, I can see their reasoning, you know, like that actually covers a lot of bases when you think about it. Especially with the Ciphermaniacs to obviously draw a trade and stuff and collect and everything like that. But no, genuinely I think they have a pretty good shell there. I might have to do some investigation into that. Okay, that's a mulligan, but we can deal with that. That's fine. Obviously, we want to go first anyway. But I'm praying it's not Eeveebox because they have Flareon, and that one-shots us by accelerate, well, whilst also accelerating energy. But if they put Leafeon / Fez down, we can use this guy, because we've not used him yet, but, well, it's only game 2, so... Yeah, we revealed that we're pretty much a fire-breathing Dengo variant, so it's not a big deal. Now we start the Charcadet. That is not a very good going second hand. I can attach here at the very least, but I need a Buddy Poffin off this draw. That's not it, Chief. Attach. Pass. Let's hope they don't have turn 1 Fan Rotom, eh? Because they could. They very easily could. Realish? Okay, well this is Guardy then. Are you just gonna item lock me? Secret box, okay. If we top deck Ceruledge, that'd be pretty nice. They're not going to play the Iodo, I don't blame them. Yeah, this is Guardy Jelly, so this could be tough. Because obviously they do limit us in a lot of ways. Obviously the Jellyfish limits our item cards. And also our tools, so we can't use our air balloons. Another thing as well about the optimal Charcadet is it has a 1 retreat cost as opposed to a 2. So that is something to consider. But no, if I top deck the Charcadet with the ability, or the 220 damage, I could do it. I could go Firebreather plus that, but then I don't really do much else. That's the only thing. And if they have Rare Candy Gardevoir, I just lose. But yeah, Oceanic Gloom for 20. We can't play item cards. That's fine. Well, that's a Gimmighoul, so that doesn't really get me anywhere. But I can thin out the deck of energy with Firebreather. I'll Legacy a Gimme, just in case they go for it. Chopping for 10 does nothing, so I'm just going to gather Strength. So that way we thin more. That's probably the only good thing about this Charcadet with Gather Strength, is you can thin, but obviously there's only so much you can do. But if we do get the Charcadet off the top, like if we also draw it off of Dengo for 1, we could gust the Latias and take 2 prizes, so that feels pretty good. Oh, they're not putting Diancie down. I don't blame them. Do they have Rare Candy Gardevoir? Of course they do. It's Gardevoir, they always have it. If there's very few things in life that are guaranteed, it's Charizard having Rare Candy Pidgeot plus Rare Candy into Charizard, and also Rare Candy Gardevoir can also be a thing. Okay, so let's see what we get off the top. A Dengo's nice, but we do want a bit more. Coin bonus. That's a superior. We can go for Gust on the Guardian. I think that's fine. So we'll do that. So we'll retreat into the Dengo, boss the Guardy, and make it rain, discarding 7. Goodbye, Gardevoir. You should have Iono'd me, mate. But no, that's Guardy dealt with. That's good. There's Arven and Energy Retrieval. Obviously, we won't need to deal with this Frillish now, because they could go Ultra Ball for the Jellyfish, and then we're going to be hitting it for quite some time. I'm hoping they don't have Rare Candy into Jellyfish, though, because if they... Well, not Rare Candy, Ultra Ball into Jellyfish, because if they do, that feels kind of rough. Or they just have it in hand, because Guardy always has it. So yeah, that feels kind of bad. That generally feels kind of bad. Because now we've got most of our energy in the discard pile, and they're going to hit us for 80. Which, this does 2 extra energy attached. We could boss the Mew, to be fair, and then we can get item cards back, and we can obviously do stuff. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. You should know, mate, Dengo always has it. Like, get on my level, boy. So we'll grab back you. Energy Retrieval. In fact, I'll grab back a Metal. Because I only need 4 to take this out. Because I can Ultra Ball away you and you. I only need 4 to take this out. At least I can set up another Dengo. I could actually set up Ceruledge, but Ceruledge won't win us this game. So, no reason for me to. I'll just grab Gimme. Because that way I can set up a Gimme. Because again, I only need 4 energy. I don't need to do anything now. And, well, I forgot to coin bonus, so that would help, wouldn't it? See, if I didn't know that, I could have Nest Ball for it, but it's fine. We're going to Nest Ball. We can grab ourselves the Genesect. And yeah, we'll make it rain for 5. Well, 4, but you get the point. And take another 2 prize cards. You would think this would be a tough matchup, but, well, when you know how to play it, works pretty well. And we do have a Dengo in there, so we can even free retreat into the Dengo, and then obviously attach Metal and start doing stuff. And if he leaves this Latias in the active, which is heavily unlikely, there's the Jellyfish, get another energy card. Power Press for 80. Like I said, this card is just so, like... I get the reasoning for it, but, you know... Ooh, hold on. No, we don't play Iron Bundle. Well, I can Ciphermaniac anyway. It's not a big deal. I can get you. I can get you as well. So then, coin bonus. I should have probably finned with Genesect first before doing this, but it's fine. Then we'll Metallic Signal. Rabbit Yube, so we thin you out. Evolve. Evolve. We've already coin bonus for you, so we'll coin bonus for you. Okay, we can't use that right now. We could make it rain for 50, and then that lines up Ceruledge, so I think we'll do that. Because that way we're playing into the Ceruledge. That's the idea anyway, because we can go coin bonus, Gust with the Ceruledge, and take game with Superior plus Night Stretcher. So we have game here, unless say Iona. We have games, so it's not a big deal. Power Press for 80. I will do game with the Ceruledge, because that way we can at least use it. Okay, so we'll just boss the Lati. Free retreat into Ceruledge. Superior, you and you. Grab 4 fires back. Obviously we need to attach one first. So then we'll Night Stretcher, and he's not even going to let me do it. That's unfortunate. You can see that as BMing, but well, I wanted to use the Ceruledge. We'll count that as using Ceruledge, yeah? Let's go to game 3. And welcome back to game 3. That was pretty smooth for Fire Breathing Dengo there. I'm actually climbing up the Arceus ladder back to where I originally was, so that's at least something. No, this deck feels fun. Like I don't think it's as good as the Rocks variant, because obviously the Rocks can at least use single prizes in a lot more consistent fashion. Plus you get to play Power Pro and Vitality Man for that, which, to be fair, I think Vitality Man would go pretty hard on this list anyway. But yeah, I think a couple of changes could be good for this list. But so far, it's got us undefeated so far. We've got a pretty tough weakness matchup, which is pretty nice to have. So we are going first, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, we're going we're going first. And they have a mulligan. Let's see what we're facing. Noctowl Fire Energy. Of course it's Fire Energy. What are you playing? Are you playing Flareon or something? Because if you are, I'm not going to be a happy bunny about that. Charizard? Okay. Crispin? Why are you playing Crispin in there? Unless you're playing, the... What's it called? Okay, so we've got one Ceruledge in hand, so that's fine. No, don't click you. We're not after you. We've prized one Arven. We've got all 4 boss in the deck, both Fire Breathers. That's pretty good. All 4 Superiors. We've also got the Energy Retrieval. We've also got a Legacy. We prized 2 Fire Energy. That is fine with me. So we will attach to the Gimme, and we will pass. So, let me get this straight. He's playing Noctowl Charizard, but he's playing Crispin. That probably smells to me he's playing a certain Water-type Pokemon which no one wants to deal with, because we don't play Shaman. Are you playing a Wellspring, perhaps, good sir? Because that's what I would predict. If you are playing the Wellspring, that's fine. I'll just Arven for Nest Ball. Ditto. Okay, yeah, make use of the Agile on your Charmander. Makes sense. He's going to try and, like, go into Wellspring and then, you know, do Wellspringy stuff. I don't know what Wellspring does. Obviously, I do know what it does, but, like, you know. Kang? Okay. That's interesting. And Lily's Determination. Interesting you played a Kang in there. That's odd. I mean, it makes sense in, like, a Terra Box deck, but not this case. Interesting is all I'll say for my opponent. We could potentially take this out this turn if we draw into the right cards. So remember, we only need 6 energy. I know that sounds like a lot, but it's not really. Yeah, this is pretty free for us. And, well, he's just going to sit there with a thumb up his arse. Sure, that's another energy, that's good. We can evolve the Ceruledge for later. We'll then Arven for a Nest Ball plus Air Balloon. So we'll Nest Ball, grab the Genesect. Metallic Signal. Oh, back in a second. Sorry about that, just had to go and answer the door there. I've cut my bleeding foot on whilst I was running to get the door then. That freaking hurt is all I'll say. I'll have to probably cut because I'll have to sort this because my foot's bleeding a little bit, but I'll live. Okay. Coin bonus. We get another energy. Coin bonus. I can swing for 4 now, I guess. Might as well. Force them to have Turo, I guess. I'll be back in a moment. I need to sort this. And well, whilst I was halfway through applying a plaster, my opponent conceded. Unfortunate for them. Unfortunately for me. I'm not even sure what I cut it on, to be honest. Like, my foot. I might have, like, caught the back of the stair or something. I don't know, but to be honest, I've done worse in my lifetime, so don't worry, I'm fine. I'm not afraid of blood. Never have been. I mean, I've played that many 18-plus games in my lifetime. I'll be fine. But yeah, that went pretty smoothly. Obviously, we put the early pressure on with that 200 there. But yeah, this deck feels really fun. So, what do I think to the deck? This deck's really fun. You know, like, it has a lot of lines with it. But, you know, I think the one of Ceruledge EX could be considered. I would suggest also swapping to the Will-O-Wisp Charcadet, like I mentioned in the deck list. But other than that, this list doesn't really need to change. And to be honest, well, it's definitely one that, you know, is worth considering. So, obviously, this is going to be the last video for, well, is it the last video for the year? Let me double check. In fact, no, it'll be the 29th. So, the Siblings Sunday video, that, in fact, no, it's the Monday after, I think it is. Let me double check my calendar. Because obviously it will be near the end of the year when, obviously, some of these videos go out. The video on the 31st of December will be the last video for the year, so I'll probably do something special for that. Because, yeah, it's almost been, well, it's been about 6 months since we started the channel almost. And it's been a fun journey. Obviously, we've been, you know, hitting milestones and stuff like that. Obviously, we're already at, well, at time of recording, we're already at 70 subscribers. So, you know, it's one of those that, like, it's surprising, but at the same time, I'm hoping that we can grow a bit more in the new year. Anyway, I'm going to leave you all to it for today. Really hope you enjoyed seeing this deck in action, and I'll see you next time.